Morning, anger and outrage continue over a deadly ICE shooting in Minnesota. The incident has had a ripple effect across the country, including right here in the nation's capital. Yesterday, protesters gathered in Lafayette Square Park and marched around the White House to protest ICE. It comes after 37-year-old Renee Good was shot and killed by an ICE agent during an operation in Minneapolis last week. Our Jacqueline Quinn is live in Northwest D.C. this morning, where several other protests are planned for today. Jackie, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. It was estimated there were about 1,000 protests across the country today. We're tracking at least 6 protests here in the DMV. Now, some of these are local groups that are setting up the protests. Others are joining in the ICE Out for Good weekend of action, including the one that's set to happen here at 1 p.m. So the protests have been growing nationwide since the shooting Wednesday in Minneapolis. Federal officials say ICE agent Jonathan Ross fired in self-defense, but cell phone video released since then showing what the agent saw in the moments before the shooting has fueled public anger and renewed calls to rein in immigration enforcement. Now, here in D.C., there will be a march to ICE headquarters followed by a vigil and rally. Again, that's set to start at 1 p.m. There's also a vigil of prayer and protest planned tonight at 5 p.m. meeting near the Frederick Douglass Bridge on the Anacostia side. Those coming out plan to walk across the bridge linking the killing of Renee Good to broader demands to end the militarization of police and abolish ICE outside of D.C. Elsewhere outside of D.C., in Leesburg, there will be a vigil with Congress members and local leaders at 5 p.m. In Silver Spring. There's going to be an ICE Out for Good rally at the Leisure World Plaza at 2 p.m. in Hydesville. Along Route 1, a vigil honoring Renee Good. That starts at 1 in Arlington. ICE Out for Good vigil at the Courthouse Plaza starting at noon. So today's protest follows a number of protests that happened Saturday.
It was so unnecessary. It was so foolish. ICE does not know what they're doing. They're unorganized.
It was awful. Yeah. I really have no words, honestly.
Now, at this point in the investigation, the FBI is taking over that investigation. That's why we're waiting to see more details as they may release those. Now, Good's family may also release or file a civil lawsuit. Those are some of the things that we're tracking along with those protests that we're expecting for later today. For now, I'll send it back to you, Marcella.
All right, Jacqueline Quinn live for us this morning. Thank you. Again, those protests planned for later today that Jackie just mentioned, just some of many across the country. We have seen thousands come out in Minneapolis, Chicago, Manhattan, Phoenix, and many other cities. According to Trace, which tracks gun violence, there have been at least 16 shootings involving ICE agents in Trump's second term. We'll have more on ICE protests coming up at 7:30, and we will continue to track what